Hello everyone, Michael Wolfe for WatchReport.com, and today it is my extreme pleasure to present the Back to Bauhaus watch from the Stova watch company out of Germany. I actually have a deep affection for this brand. It kept my interest, believe it or not, a few years back on watches. Due to some of the designs that they have in their sport model line and so forth, and just really appreciated the communication with the company. Had a lot of nice emails, great correspondence back and forth, very timely, and you could tell that the company really cared about what the consumers thought about their products. It's a very small company. I believe they have about 20 employees, so they can provide a certain level of service and the personal touch that just a lot of other companies cannot provide. And this is, like I said, it is the Back to Bauhaus watch model. It is a very classic timepiece. Bauhaus was an art school in Germany, and one of the instructors at the art school was responsible for or was given credit for the creation of the font type on the Bauhaus, on the first Bauhaus timepieces. The first Bauhaus watch that was, I believe, in production was from Lang & Söhne. And it was, I believe, in 1924, and then Stova produced their first Bauhaus timepiece in 1927. Both of them looked very similar as far as the dial and obviously the font type and so forth on the dial. Both were mechanical, manual movements. Stova produced another Bauhaus timepiece in 2004. Which again looked very similar to the original pieces that were created back in the 1920s. And then now in 2015, they have brought the Back to Bauhaus to watch fans. Now, what makes it different? Why is this just not another retro timepiece? Well, they've made some subtle changes and some not so subtle changes to this particular watch model. But I wanted to first start off by showing you what it looks like on a 7 3/4 inch wrist. And I have, a large, medium to large size wrist. And I do not have any complaints. Normally my sweet spot with watches goes anywhere from like sometimes a 40 millimeter up to about 44 millimeters, but no issues with this particular watch because of the lug design. I'm hoping that you can see just how long the lugs are, and we'll look at them closer here in just a moment. But just very nice on the wrist, very lightweight. So let's get this off the wrist. We'll take a closer look at the watch and what makes it different. Okay. Let's see here. All right. If you go out to the Stova website and read up on their company and look at the history on Bauhaus timepieces, you will notice that the primary difference that you're going to see is in the numerals and the minute markers on the dial, just at first glance. What they've done is they've modified the bare font type and made it a little bit more playful. They've rounded the numbers. As you can see, the twos are very good examples of that change, especially if you go out and look at the way the original two was produced on Bauhaus timepieces. And then I believe I believe it was on Stova's website, instead of the standard hash minute markers around the dial, they have used dyno dots. I think that's what they called them. But if I'm wrong on that, it's still, they used the dots rather than the standard minute hash marks that you would normally see. So a lot more playful in the font and using the dot minute markers. Now, the other thing that they did, they obviously, as you can see here, they kept in production a white dial model, and there's also a black dial model. I believe that that's essential for any type of, especially a retro type timepiece, because you have a lot of watch purists that they don't believe in anything other than black and white. So they don't want to look at anything else. But what Stova has done to also make this even more playful and more unique is they've created 4 other dial colors with brown, blue, green, and pink. So a lot more to choose from rather than just the standard white and black. So they have maintained the Bauhaus design idea by keeping it simple. It's a very minimalistic watch, as you can see, and they've given it a more of a contemporary flair with the numerals, the dots, and then the various dial colors that are available. Now, the Back to Bauhaus watches come in several different sizes. This particular one is an Antea 365. That's the actual model for this Back to Bauhaus timepiece. They also make the Back to Bauhaus Antea in a 355 and a 390, and basically it's just a 35.5 millimeter and a 39 millimeter. The 35.5 millimeters are mechanical manual wind movements, stiletto movements, but this one is an actual automatic, as well as the 390. The retail price outside of Europe is, I believe, last time I checked, was around 905 USD. Now, the crown, as you can see, they have incorporated the Stova logo. It is a push-pull crown. You can see the extreme high polish nature of the case, so pardon any fingerprints. It's really hard to keep fingerprints off of this. And then obviously the low profile design. This is going to fit great under any type of dress shirt. Perfect for the executive boardroom. Then a nice gear coin edged design on the crown. It is, I think I mentioned push-pull crown. Very easy to grasp, very easy to rotate. There's no play or wiggle, as you would expect from the quality watches that Stova produces. And then there's a really good look at these lugs. Long lugs. And then another great design feature is the lugs are machined for strap changes. A lot easier to, if you're using the proper tool, to change out these pins to keep from scratching the underside of your lugs than if there was no machining for lug holes. Now, let me wipe the case back off. Stova didn't stop at the they just didn't put a normal movement in this particular watch. All of the Stova Back to Bauhaus watches use top grade ETA movements, including the mechanical. This is a top grade ETA 2824 with some modifications. Obviously, you see all what you normally see on a top grade ETA, nice perlaging to the movement and so forth. But one of the really cool things, that I like is the custom rotor. It's not the typical 2824 rotor, which many of you are familiar with. This is a custom rotor that Stova has created and installed, and it has the back to Bauhaus engraving. Movement, as you would expect with the top grade, is heck, it's right around plus 2 seconds a day right now, I believe, the last time I checked it. And then the various other specification information you see around there, and then obviously the made in Germany. This is obviously, this product is finished in Germany. Now it doesn't stop at, I'm going to zoom out now. It doesn't stop at the watch head. You do get to pick your strap. I chose the gray. This is a high quality, I believe, calf leather. I'll double check on that and let you know in the review, but it's very soft, very supple, very comfortable. The lugs on this particular model are 18 millimeters, and the strap tapers to 16 at the tail. Lots of sizing holes, and this, as I alluded to earlier, is an extra large strap, which you'll need probably 7.5 on up, maybe, or 7 3/4 on up. Will need this size strap. Now, one of the things that I would suggest doing, and you'll probably be able to see since I've been using the Tang buckle, I would suggest possibly acquiring a dual deployant to help save on the strap wear just a little bit. And then 2 keepers, 1 fixed, 1 floating, and then a very nice signed, high polished Stova buckle, which matches the case. And there you have it. This is the Stova Back to Bauhaus Antea 365 automatic classic watch. And I say classic, but I also believe that this is a perfect dress watch, and like I said, would be perfect in the boardroom. Definitely minimalistic and very simple in the design, but this particular rendering of the Back to Bauhaus adds a little bit more flair, which I think a lot of people would really enjoy. I would like to thank Stova for working with Watch Report on this review. I would like to thank each one of you for watching, and stay tuned for my next video presentation here on Watch Report.